Oh, good morning, everyone. It is Friday, so happy Friday to you. Hopefully your day's off to a good start or a good finish, whatever the case may be. Oh, I'm telling you, this is what I was telling you earlier. The week flies by. You know, I've got to do this 40-hour-a-week grind. It's really a grueling week, but I mean, it flies by. You know, most of the time it just goes so quick. But this morning we'll do it this afternoon, I think. Stop to get some gas. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cheat on Mallory today. We're not gonna stop at McDonald's for the caffeine. I'm gonna see if Taco Bell's open and get my Mountain Dew for breakfast, if I can do that. So we'll see if that works out. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you again for, jumping in last night and coming in and contributing. And then thanks for the followers. I got like 5 or 6 followers last night. I usually want one, being a new streamer, one a day, just one for every stream would be great for me. I'm very, very happy to get that. But last night, there's 6 of you guys came in and then followed, and I'm really happy to see that, because you want to do the best for everyone, and you kind of hope that being new, that they can appreciate your trying, and it was really great to see you guys come in and join in a little bit, and that was fun. Tonight, I'll do the afternoon drive today. I'll do the 3:15, 3:30-ish. We'll go ahead and we'll start that, and then I'll definitely be there tonight. I'm not going to do no tournaments, no nothing. I'm going to do a 7 o'clock, and I may start doing something on Saturdays. I've gotten a couple suggestions. You guys have sent me email and said that it's tough during the week, and I can understand that. So I may start doing a Saturday, do something on Saturday. I don't think I want to do anything on Sunday, because for those of you that are religious or whatnot, Sunday's your day of rest or whatnot, so I don't want to do anything on a Sunday, but maybe Saturday I'll start streaming, doing a little, but I've been putting some stuff together and just trying to get everything ironed out. I checked my email this morning, and on the way out, and one of you, and I don't know if I can tell you the handle, but you sent me an email and asked me a question. Yeah, to answer your question, yes, I was actually a pastor for 4 years, New Faith and Gospel Church. And it's not that I stopped believing in God or any of that. I mean, it's just there was way too many things that I just didn't agree with, and it just didn't feel right to stay. I would have been a hypocrite to kind of stay as a pastor when I had so many different thoughts running through my mind. So, you understand that it had nothing to do with whether I was believing or not believing. And the question you asked me about, I understand that there's a lot written in the Bible, and yes, you asked a question about gay, my feelings or the Bible's feelings on gay, relationships and this and that. And here's how can I you gotta tread light, that politically correct stuff. I don't want to. Hang on one sec, guys. I want to just kind of tighten this up if I can. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit tighter. But I don't want to say anything that's going to offend anyone, and I don't want to. I guess if I was to say, oh boy, hey, you want to know what the Bible said? You know what? Have you ever watched Sling Blade? If you've never seen Sling Blade, watch it. Here you go. I'll tell you what. Here, I'm going to do my impression of Carl. He's the one of the characters in Sling Blade. So here we go. To answer your question, I'll have Carl answer your question. So here's what he says.
Well, the Bible says man ought not sleep with man. But I reckon you lived a good life, the good Lord ain't gonna fault you none. So, even though the Bible says man ought not sleep with man. It also says that judge not, lest ye be judged.
So, anyway, that's kind of a little humor there, but basically, the Bible does say man ought not lay with man, and, it basically also says in the same book, judge not, lest ye be judged. So, I personally, I think that if you live a good life, that's what's going to get you where you need to go. I mean, God is an all-forgiving God. He's an all-merciful God. So, I don't think it's fair to say that he would pardon murderers and people in prison, or he would pardon, kind of allow these people that have repented. And that's really anybody that's in the church will tell you the key to forgiveness is to repent of your sins. And they'll say, repent of your, like even Jesus when they were going to stone the prostitute, and he says, let he among you who's without sin cast the first stone. And then he tells her, go and sin no more. Well, for somebody to tell you go and sin no more, if your lifestyle, if you're a member of the LGBT community, you can't look at that as a sin no more type of a situation. You really, if that's your life and that's what you believe and that's how your life is, why should that be any different than anyone else's? So, in my opinion, it's like, look, live your life. God will be the ultimate judge. And then I'm going to tell you, an all-merciful God, an all-merciful God is not going to be one that is a vengeful God. He's there for mercy. So, you just got to kind of go with that and just understand that it's not all about right and wrong. It's about the mercy of God and how he judges you for how you lived your life. Now, you guys want to hear something funny? I thought there was a Taco Bell here at this, and I passed by here every day for 3 years. I swear to you, I thought there was a Taco Bell. Oh, actually, maybe there is. Maybe it's over there. I was freaking out. I was like, 3 years I've been coming by this intersection, and I swore there was a Taco Bell here. And now I'm going, where is the Taco Bell? But I think I see it over here. Oh, I thought I was coming down with the case of the CRS. Can't remember squat, So anyway, yeah, that's a little bit of a deep conversation to get involved with in the morning. I just don't think it's something you should worry about. If you live a good life, there's so many things we do that we made. There's people that commit sin every day and don't even realize they're committing sins. And if you think that God's not going to forgive them, and then there's people that commit no sins. No, actually, that's not true. I think everybody commits sins. All right, guys. Well, I found the Taco Bell, but just as I suspected, it's closed. So we're going to take this one on the chin and just have to get more caffeine when we get to work. Damn it. Oh well. That's okay. Didn't need the temptation for those carbs anyway this morning. So I'll just go without. Anyway, guys. So, but thanks for the email. I mean, I do appreciate it, and it's kind of neat to know that, you actually... I had made that comment about being a pastor briefly probably weeks ago, and it's just neat to know somebody actually watched that. But yeah, I was, and that was the question, and that was my answer. It's not something there is no absolutes in this world. If you've learned nothing else in this entire world, there's no absolute anything, and you can't, you cannot trust what man says. See, I think that's one of the things you got to understand about the Bible. There's tons of errors. There's tons of paradoxes in the Bible. There's tons of sin that is masked under the guise of doing it under God's will. So I think the Bible was given to you to be kind of an instruction manual on life, but I also believe that there's so many errors in the book, there's so many inaccuracies, and I believe that God actually allowed those to be put in there so that we would never trust, because the book was written by man. And I think that God kind of wanted to put these errors in there and allow them to be in there because he doesn't ever want you to trust the written word of man, but he wants you to trust what he puts in your heart. You know, what God puts in your heart, that's what you need to go by. So don't get, you know, I don't know if that helps you, just don't get strung out on what people tell you, how you should live your life. You just live your life, be happy, and be good. Really, be happy and be a good person. That's really, you're all merciful. God is all merciful for that reason. That's what he wants people to do. Think of it as, you know, he's your father. He wants you to be happy. Unless your father had a problem with your lifestyle, then he didn't want you to be happy. But, you know, and that's all I really want to talk about religion this morning. Don't want to get into it because it's a deep subject that it'll have me looking too far into me, which I don't want to do right now. But to answer your question, though, no, I didn't leave because I stopped believing in a God. I just left for a lot of other reasons. Yes, I did like it. You asked if I liked it. I mean, yes, I did. I enjoyed it immensely. I think one of the best things you can do is to be a kind of a pillar of strength for others. I think that that's really a way to help other folks. And that's kind of why I enjoyed it so much, just like what I do now. And hopefully what you guys do, I mean, you like to think that the things we do in life aren't all self-serving. I mean, everything we do, of course, is usually about us and our family. We work, we do this, we do that. It's usually about our little circle, but hopefully either your job or what you do outside of your job, hopefully you reach out and you know, touch other folks with what you do and make a difference in that respect. Because I think that's one of the greatest things that you could do, is actually make a difference in someone else's life. And I mean, I really truly believe that that's something that everyone should strive for, because if you can make a positive difference in some, and be selfless about it. Don't do it for gain or anything. Do it because it makes you feel good. Do it because it's the right thing to do. And most importantly, do it because it makes a difference in that person's life. I think that's awesome. If you can do that. I mean, I kind of hate, no, let me rephrase that. I absolutely hate getting up when it's still dark outside and then coming home when it's like getting dark outside. I hate giving up my entire day for a job to, just to kind of, so I can survive in life. You want to, I hate doing that. But the reward of what I do is I do get to make a difference. I work with inmates. I work with prisoners. I work with people that have killed people that have, murdered, and done ultimate sins. I mean, there's people where I work that are, they've had DUIs, they've robbed stores, they've been drug offenses, there's pedophiles. There's the worst of the worst. Those are the inmates that I go to work every day and that come into my class and look to me to pass something on to them. And it's not up to me to punish them. I'm not there. That's not what, they've been punished. They're being punished for what they've done by being incarcerated. My job when I'm there is I like to motivate, educate, inspire. This is what I want them to strive to be better. Now, sometimes that doesn't work. There's some people that we've had this conversation before, during the stream. There's some people there that just absolutely, they've never really been in a hard prison. Ours is Camp Cupcake, very, very easygoing for these guys compared to some of the other prisons that are out there. And that's unfortunate because a lot of these guys that you'll hear them say, "Oh, I got another 20 years in me. I can do this." They're perfectly content to stay in prison. They get 3 hots and a cot every night. They get football games and TV, warm, room service. the chef cooks for them, and so for them it's an okay lifestyle. They're okay with it. I personally could never be okay with it. I would not ever want to give up my freedoms for prison. No, not on your life. But there's some people that are there. That's how they are. And those, sometimes you can't change everyone. Well, actually, let's be honest. You can't change anybody, really. They have to want to change. You can be a beacon for them. You can be something that they can look for light and hopefully guidance. But you really, truly can't change them unless they want to change. And I'm going to tell you, these guys that are there, a lot of them want to change. But there are some that are going to go right back into the only lifestyle they knew. And that's where now the cool part about it, like what I see every day when I go into my job, and I throw out and kind of let them understand why that's not necessarily their only choice. And it's really amazing to me. It's amazing to see these guys and watch their eyes and see how all of a sudden you will see that link be made where they understand they have something else. They have something different, something new, something that they can really do where, a lot of these guys worry about their education because they didn't get the education they needed, or they had abusive parents, and there's like all these different reasons that they want to say that's why they made these mistakes. But I don't focus on, and I try to tell them, look, guys, I'm not a counselor. I'm not going to be the one to tell you why, this happened. I don't get into that because that's not my thing. But I do tell them your past does not equal your future. I don't care what happened to you yesterday, last week, last month, last year, 10 years ago. That doesn't equal where you're going. Only you have control of where you end up. And once they start hearing those messages, once they start realizing that their future really truly is in their hands, they start to be more receptive to all the different things I'm teaching them. And I'm not the thing is, my class teaches them, if you're a technology person, you'll understand this, or even if not, you'll probably understand it. But I teach them what's called A+, which is basically how to build a computer, all the components of a computer system, how to tear it down, how to repair it, how to troubleshoot, install operating systems, basically how to become a PC technician. So they'll learn A+ certification, for the CompTIA, and also Network Plus, which is for networking. They'll learn what a network is, how to set up a network, how to configure a network. So they're learning these skills that when they get out, even though they're felons, see, that's the nice thing about the computer industry. Most of the time, you don't really care to focus on the bad of an individual. You want somebody who can do the job. Sure, there's a certain amount of concern, but the truth of the matter is, most people that work in the tech field, they know the job, and that's really what gets them into the field. So these guys really have a good chance to leave that past behind them and move forward with something more positive. But I think one of the coolest things that I get out of doing this is when I talk to them about like what I'm doing, the streaming, the social media, when they understand what is out there and what they can accomplish with social media and the market, and all of a sudden you can see the creative juices get flowing and they have ideas, and for the first time you start to see a spark where these guys are no longer talking about, yeah, I got another 20 years in me, I can do that. They're no longer talking about wanting to stay in prison or even come back. They're now looking at it going, wait a minute. So, you've got a guy named Ninja who makes $500,000 a month streaming from his house or whatever. Holy moly, wait, educate us on that. Tell us how this is possible. And all of a sudden, you start to plant little seeds of, look, whatever you love, whatever you're, if you're into horticulture or whatever, you have a global audience for your voice. And when they start to hear that, all of a sudden, they start to think of all the, I had one guy come up to me last week and says, Mr. J, I really am, very skilled at, auto mechanics and this and that. So I showed him where, look, here's a guy that has a garage and who streams live, his repairs. Oh my God, this guy was blown away. He had never seen that before, and he was just so, it was like so great. But that's what I was saying. You can take even if you have no education, no nothing, you can still be successful. And I think that it's kind of nice to just watch and listen to these guys, and they've come, they've come to actually, they've brought me their business plans, and they said, can you look these over? And I'd be like, well, here's what I can tell you, because I really don't want to get into the habit of looking over anybody's stuff, and I'll tell you why. And I don't really tell them this, but the reason I don't want to start looking over someone's business plan is, number one, that's not my job. I mean, we've got people that can help them when they get out. So my job, I want to keep it simple, and I try to tell them that if you have questions, ask me questions. I'll answer all your questions. I don't have a problem. But I don't want to get into looking and reviewing business plans and things like that, because that's not what my class is. Let me talk to you about computers and technology and innovation, social media, all the things that tie into my class I'll talk to you about, but there are certain things that I don't want to, you don't want to become a resource for 1,000 individuals to come running to. That's not the idea. But anyway, being able to help them, that's a good thing. So that's kind of what I kind of hope that the folks watching, I hope you guys there have some way of making a difference. And a lot of people do it by volunteering. They volunteer at the Goodwill, or they do churches. They volunteer for the church events, things of that nature. And I think that's great. I think that everybody needs to have that spark in their life that gives them some kind of reward that makes them feel good about something they're doing. And hopefully you have that. This is mine. This is kind of when I go into work every day. I like making that difference. I really do hope that I reach one person. I mean, if I just reach one person, even every year, that makes a difference, and who can look back and, as a pivot point in their life, say, it was this guy that was crazy, insane, that that was one of my teachers when I was incarcerated, that made a difference. If that person could be me, if I could make a difference in someone's life, that's awesome. That's really kind of what I hope everybody watching, I hope you can make a difference in someone's life in some positive way, and you can experience what that feels like, because when you start living outside yourself, because we live kind of within ourselves and our families every day, 24/7, 365, most people, and then we do little pockets of goodness, as we can. But there's a lot of people that don't even do that. So it's always my hope that you do find some way of reaching individuals and making a difference. Whether it's spreading if you're a religious person and you believe in the Bible and the tenets of the Bible, and you feel that that's your calling to spread the word and help, then do that. If it makes you feel good and if it makes a positive difference in someone's life, awesome. Because we have, let's face it, man, people, it's so easy. I mean, it's so easy to be negative, to put people down, to have that pessimistic attitude. Every time something goes wrong, it's easy to have a pity party. It's easy to feel that woe is me. Why is this always? That's easy. That's the easy route we can take. A lot of these guys, that are in prison, they like to cast blame on everybody else. Never take ownership of what they did. So that's easy, and it kind of gives you, I guess maybe a sense of not having to look at yourself and just basically say, I'll blame my parents for my lot in life. And you know what? I'll be honest, guys. If that's what it takes for you to get through life every single day, is to blame someone else for your lot in life and for the way things are. I don't make enough money. I can't pay these bills. If you want to blame people and you know what? Nobody can change you. You're going to be who you are. But what I would encourage you to do is flip that around and kind of count your blessings. Look at the positive things in your life. And from those positive things, try to find other things that you can do. I mean, I'll go ahead and I'll challenge you to do this. Next time, and because I was the person, how many of you guys have seen these people that hold up the sign on the corner, will work for food? Have you seen those? Or, help a homeless vet, and, you've all seen these guys with the signs and that. I was the guy for the longest time that would just drive by them, I thought one day I thought I was being funny. I went and got a McDonald's application, and I drove by a guy and I gave him the application. I says, "Here," I says, "get a job." I says, "You won't be standing on a corner." I was that guy. I was the one that was so, I just found it to be, it was in my head, it was a scam. It was always a scam, because who would stand out on the corner and beg like that? That's just somebody who doesn't want to work, doesn't want to get a job. They just want to scam people and try and get free money. So I had this mental vision of what was going on in that person's life, and that they were just trying to pull one over on me. And are there people that do that? Yes, absolutely. There are people that's the only thing they know is how to scam people. And you know what? You can't think like that on every situation. So here's what I challenge you. Next time you see somebody standing on the corner, standing by a bridge, at an intersection or whatever, holding a sign, here's what I want you to do. I simply want you to go to the nearest restaurant, spend $7, spend $7, get them a good meal, just get them something fast food, get them something to eat, then go back around and give them that something to eat along with a $10 bill. So for $20, literally $20 is all I'm asking for you to do. It's not, all it is going to you, it'll be the cost of a couple McDonald's combo meals. I want you to do that. Go around, find somebody the next time you drive by and you see them, buy them a lunch, buy them something to eat, and give them a $10 bill, and just tell them, in no uncertain terms, I'm not going to give you the verbiage to say, but tell them, man, everything's going to be good. Just say something like, God has great things in store for you. Just be patient. This is going to pass. You're on the road. Say something encouraging to that person. Don't say something that's going to tell them what to do. Don't say, if you go do this, just tell them something encouraging that, say, look, I know times are tough today, and I know that, things may be really tough, but stay the course, be strong, give them some motivation, and just watch and just see how they react. That's how, because let me tell you, it takes a lot. And I know it takes a tremendous amount of fortitude inside. Something inside you has to be so strong when you are out there on that corner, because it's one of the hardest things for some people to do, to admit that they need help, to admit that they can't do it on their own, to admit and to literally humble themselves so much that they have to, you got to think of what that person feels like at that time. They are probably at one of the lowest points in their life. There may be drug addiction involved, there may be alcohol, or there may be none of that. They just may have gotten a really bad deal, so to speak. But be a little bit of an encourager. Try to inspire, motivate, a positive word, and a meal. That's all you got to do. And then tell me. Then come back. Get online 7 o'clock or whatever, 7 p.m. I'm usually online, and then come and tell me how it made you feel. Tell me if just be honest. If you felt that you got scammed and the guy was just out there, then say, I did what you said. I gave this guy food, and I gave him a $10 bill, and he says, yo, dude, thanks, and walked away. Hey, if you feel that you got scammed or whatever, tell me. But I'm going to tell you, I really challenge you to do that. and just watch the person, listen to them. If you could pull over for just a few minutes and just talk to the person, say, hey, what's going on, man? What put you out here? Because I know this is tough. Listen to what the person says. Everybody has a story. Everybody would love to be able to have somebody just listen and that can sympathize with them, or they maybe can just offer those words of encouragement. But do that, because until I did it, I didn't realize truly the way I was, so to speak. And one day, and it was just literally, one day I drove by, and the guy had a sign that says, my family needs me, will work for food. Something like that. It was something to those, and it was a little different than what I had seen previously. And the guy, to be honest with you, didn't look like he was a needy, like a vagrant. He was not, he was shabbily dressed, but almost like he put on his best, worst, or his worst, best clothes. I don't know how you put it, but so I ended up, I went around, I grabbed lunch, and I came back to him, and I parked over to the parking lot and started walking towards him. He came over, and I said, hey man, I saw you standing there. I said, you looked like you'd been there quite a while. He said, yeah, I've been here. I get here every morning, as early as I can, because I've got... So he basically started telling me how he would literally, that intersection is where the most traffic is, and he's got the most chance to be seen. And he was telling me how, what his day is like to get there and to do what he's doing. And come to find out. So anyway, as I'm talking to this guy, I get to really find out a little bit about his story and what he went through. And I will tell you, at first it was kind of an unbelievable story. I was like, no, this all can't be. Then he goes back and he goes over to this bag and everything, and he pulls out a resume, and he gives me this resume, and I'm looking at the resume, and then he starts to really tell me the whole story that had happened, and it really hit home. Guys, you don't realize it, or maybe you do realize it, but most people are one paycheck away from being homeless. I never thought of it that way, but the guy was telling me, his family, and they had jobs. His wife worked, he worked. It was not something where he just decided one day he had a wife and he had 2 kids. They were staying with the mother. He had spent all this time trying to get a job. He couldn't get a job. And then of course, we went into why he couldn't get a job. But anyway, they literally, him and his wife got laid off the same week. The same week they got laid off. And his wife was in a very tough, industry, I guess is the best way to put it. She was in a really tough job that she wasn't going to be able to find re-employment doing what she did, locally anyway. So one paycheck is all they really missed in the beginning, and then it snowballed to 2, and pretty soon they were all homeless because your landlords, nobody cares about your problems. They're usually your problems. You're the guy who, General Motors, I guess, General Motors, they don't care about your situation. If you can't pay your car payment, they want the car back. Your landlord wants your residence back if you can't pay for your rent. And so anyway, it was kind of compelling to hear this guy, but he was positive. He knew his situation was going to change, things were going to get better, but you could see that he was beaten down, and he was really just on that verge of not believing the things he was trying to believe. But by the time I left, he was very much different than when I first met him. Much more positive, much more uplifted. And I will tell you guys, it just makes a huge difference. So if you get the chance, just try it and tell me if I'm crazy. Go ahead, buy somebody a meal. or even just do something if you see somebody in a, at the restaurant, pay for their meal. Just what do they call it? What was the, there was a movie that was talking about it. Not pay it forward, but actually pay it forward is a good way to look at it, but I'm talking more about a random act of kindness, something that, nobody's telling you to do. You just do it because it's going to feel good, and you're going to watch the expression and kind of enjoy how it makes someone else feel. But I would encourage you to do that. It doesn't cost a lot. I mean, it's, what you would spend on a movie. So if you went out and seen a movie and spent $12 on a movie, just buy someone's lunch for that at McDonald's and kind of watch how crazy they think you are, because it's probably never happened to them in their entire life. Nobody's probably ever, I know that I've never walked into McDonald's and had somebody buy me lunch for no reason whatsoever. Never happened. Never happened to has it ever happened to you? Have you ever been out to eat at any restaurant where somebody just paid for your meal without asking? I'm talking, probably not. My guess is no. You probably have never experienced somebody doing some random act of kindness, like that for you. And I'm going to tell you, if you can do it, man, just do it. Payday. Today's payday. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to do, I think what I'll do, just to kind of give you an idea, I'm going to try doing just that. I'm going to try either on my way home, if I see some of these folks, because we've been hit by a hurricane, and there are a lot of folks that need a positive word, need a little help. I'm going to go ahead, it's payday, I'm going to go ahead and do it myself, and I'll share that with you this evening. I can at 7 o'clock. I'll try and share with you what I did or what I was able to. Now, I might even be able to stream it if it's, I'll have to go get some cash and everything, but I might be able to stream it and kind of see, so you can see what exactly I'm talking about. It just makes you feel better, and I just think it's really surprising for the people you do it for. That's really just a random act of kindness. And they might have, maybe they don't need it, maybe they're wealthy, but just to do it, and I can't even describe it until you've done it. So try to do that. Just then tell me if I'm crazy afterwards. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to try and do it today. Being a payday, I got $20. I'll go ahead. I would have probably, if I wasn't on this damn diet, I probably would have spent that money on fast food anyway. So, or no, not this diet, this lifestyle change. If I hadn't changed my lifestyle, that $20 would be going to pizza, fast food, junk food. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I put it to good use today. And I strongly encourage you to do the same. Just one time. $10, do it. You're going to spend it on trash anyway, garbage. Spend it on something that would make a little bit of a difference to someone else. That's cool. So anyway, I rant. If you hung with me this morning, man, I appreciate you. This is my morning drive. This is kind of where I think out loud. And I just kind of, I wish I could interact with you and have some chat going, but I do want to focus on my driving. I don't want to be a statistic or cause someone else to be a statistic by getting in an accident. So, but I do appreciate you staying with me during the drive. And if you get a chance, if you're watching and you could go over to Twitch, go over to twitch.com, or I think it's twitch.tv, and follow me at POV America. Follow my channel. I sure would appreciate it. Or if you're, whatever streaming platform you're on watching this, if you could go ahead and just subscribe to my channel or follow it there, I appreciate it. I'm a new streamer, so I'm just getting the hang of how all this works. I started streaming January 1st. Oh, back. So I can really, I definitely love the encouragement. You're always welcome to email me. I try to answer the emails either on the stream or, via email. So you're always welcome to do that. My email is povamerica at outlook.com. And I know I've got people that watch me from the Netherlands and from Australia and all over. And I appreciate you guys, every one of you, because it's literally the feedback I get from you helps me to make the channel better. And it helps, my wife, she gets a kick out of it now. She was kind of apprehensive. She she's like, well, I don't know if you're going to like doing that. I don't know if that's going to be something you want to do. But now that she sees I'm doing it, she's kind of smiling. She's like, wow, she sees that I really do enjoy it, and I like talking to people and having that feedback and that interaction, and I like that. And I'm trying to kind of pull her into it too, kind of trying to say, come on, honey. She has her own channel. She has a channel on YouTube called Sand Scratchers. And if you ever get a chance, just go surprise her. Tell her Brian sent you. And subscribe to her channel. It's called Sand Scratchers. And she does lottery tickets. She takes my money, my hard-earned money that I work for, and she'll go ahead and buy, well, she takes her money too, but mostly my money. And she'll buy lottery tickets and scratch them. And people, they have like a whole community. She's got about 200 subscribers already, but there's a whole community of these folks that they'll send her money and to buy tickets here in Florida to scratch, and she'll send money to other people, so they get, it's a really cool community. She has a lot of fun. So if you get a chance, stop by on YouTube and you can visit her channel, Sand Scratchers. So I think that's going to be a highlight of her day if you stop by and subscribe. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to do, guys. Being Friday, I'm going to go try and do that random act of kindness. And maybe that's something, I should start thinking about maybe making this a part of my channel so you guys can kind of see it and share some of the things I experience. I don't have a lot of money. I'm definitely not rich. But you know what? One of the things about this live streaming that I really enjoy, and that I've been noticing, there's people that are making a lot of money doing this. And the thing is, I'm sure eventually as I build my channel, somebody will de-virginize me, and they're going to give me some bits that translate into dollars and cents in the long term. Or they'll give me tips that'll go in my little tip jar that I have. That's going to happen over time. I just have to build the audience. But I think what I'll do is with that, because as I said, I'm not rich, but I'm also not relying on, my live stream to be any kind of my income. But I think what it does is it gives me an opportunity to make a difference, because I can take the tips, I can take the bits, I can take the embers, I can take all the things that you guys kind of contribute to the stream if you enjoy it, and I can take those and I can start doing these little random acts of kindness that I'm talking about. Now that would actually be, for me, that would be great. I mean, that would be a lot of fun, and I'd like to do that and start to kind of share that with you guys. Go out and do some of these crazy things that are fun. And they of course, they go a long way making me feel better. Now, hopefully that you'll enjoy it too. But I'm going to try to do that today and share with somebody something that'll make a difference in their life a little bit. Just bring a smile to their face, and I'll go from there. But guys, I'm close to work now. I'll probably lose you once I get next to the coat. If you've watched the morning stream, you know how this works. I get up around the bend here, and I'll lose you for a few minutes, and then once I park, I'll say goodbye, and we'll go from there. I'm going to have to look at my. I notice I have a lot of movement in my camera today, which is actually making me motion sick just watching it. So I apologize about that. Hopefully I can find out what's causing that and not be so wavy. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. I'll probably lose you in about 10 seconds here. It's starting to be miserable and rainy here again in Florida. Go figure. So watch if you can. Catch me on my afternoon stream about 3:15, 3:30. That's where it gets. Alright guys, my poor connection should be fading out anytime here. And then I should be getting back to a normal one. And any second now, I should go back to a normal connection. There we go, back to a normal connection for just a few minutes. I appreciate you guys. Once again, thanks for watching. If you stayed with me for the whole morning drive, I definitely appreciate you. And try and subscribe, try and follow. See me this afternoon at 3:30, and then again at 7 p.m. tonight. I'll be streaming to your local channels and that, local platform. So have a great Friday. Happy Friday. So whether it's Friday morning for you or Friday evening, whatever the case may be, have a great one. I look forward to seeing you guys again. And thanks for your support. Thanks for all your encouragement. Thanks for the emails, especially. And I'll work as hard as I can to make the channel fun and a better channel for you. So thanks again, guys. I'll see you a little bit later this afternoon. Have a great day.